Yeah, this how it's going down. Raps first. I'm your host, House Money. We got a special guest tonight, Mr. Funk Master Flex.
How are you, man?
What's going on, man?
So, is this happening in this room every Saturday and I'm not paying attention?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, we just started it recently, though.
Okay. Okay, listen, man. You gotta, make things overlap, make it happen.
Now, first off, I want to congratulate you on the radio broadcasting.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
Big up to you on that, man. Where were you when you first heard that news, when you got it?
You know what? I heard maybe it was it might have been a couple months. I'll keep it honest, though. I was keeping it a little low. I was,
You know about it, huh?
No, sometimes in my game, it's not always, saying how many numbers you got in is not always the greatest thing. So, I kind of was keeping it low. But then Mr. C was, making a lot of hoopla, so I kind of went with what he was going with. And I was happy. I think what I like the most about it is, being, there aren't any hip hop DJs in there. And it kind of makes sense. I guess our genre is like 20, 25 years, I guess, now.
Okay.
About, at least with the radio thing going strong. So I think there's a lot more to come. I'm sure Mr. Magic is on his way in there, and I'm sure Cool DJ Red Alert's on his way in there. So I'm sure it's going to be pretty cool.
Now, with in FlexWeTrust.com, and you got the DJ Flex app, I have to say that app deals with real time.
Yeah, no, we are. Well, we have to be.
And this was the first time for you, I think, that you put out your mixtape in a digital sense, right?
Correct. I didn't. I want to be a little different. All the labels always want me to put out something, but I didn't want to do the CD thing. I kind of wanted to do the app, the digital space. So I launched it with the app. So the app launched the mixtape. It was like 45 songs. And I loved it. You know what? It was good to. You know what? I was able to make music I enjoyed. Sometimes when you're on a label, you got to make singles and do videos, and I don't want to do that anymore. Kind of just want to. Nothing's wrong with that.
Okay.
I just want to make good music, what I'm feeling, and that boom bap, and I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good for me. I won't let it out the bag, but I got a digital situation where my next mixtape's coming out through one of the biggest apps in the world.
Wow.
And it's going to be a raw, gritty mixtape.
Oh, man, we need that. Real quick, what do you think about these rappers taking shots at New York? Saying they run New York and, once upon a time, that couldn't have happened.
It wasn't said. You know what? Keep it 100, man. Whether publicity stunt or, look, Kendrick, I get it, lyrical, doing your thing. At the moment I get what it is, and, talented. Trinidad James, I try to give the benefit of the doubt for a long time. I watched it several times. I watched it with my bloggers. I watched it with my writers. I didn't really weigh in. I'll be honest. As the days have been going along, it's been bothering me a little bit more.
What they saying on your blog on the
he's getting. Listen. Some of the stuff. Look, if he's gonna say, I felt there was some truth to what he's saying about, hey, a lot of time music plays in New York, and we get that. But I also, I felt it was part of his publicity for him. He wanted to, get something going. You want to stand on a New York stage and kind of say in New York, another part of town is, every town has their turn.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. Every town has their turn. And a lot of towns ain't had a turn for a long time. They've had a moment. So we've had a turn and then some. And why this is such a big deal is because there's so many great artists that came out in New York. This is why this is even talk. If we was in Kansas, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Right.
We're in New York, so it's a subject. If rappers come out, a lot of rappers in groups and exciting people come out in New York. So, I'm not mad at him, but there's something getting under my skin. You know,
Okay.
it's been happening for a little minute. So, in what was said, so I get it. You know, I'm not gonna do the digital answer or the political answer. Well, you know, I understand where he's coming from. I don't understand where he's coming from. I don't understand him standing on that stage being from New York, or me being from New York and him on that stage saying that, you know, who asked him? You know, do your songs, rap, rhyme,
Right.
or do your thing. I didn't understand where it took time out to preach. What moment you had to take out to tell us we ain't nothing.
Now, obviously, there's a difference between radio hits and digital hits. Now, on your website, is that where you decide what rapper you're gonna break out who's not known yet? Like, depending on how many hits you get on your site or the blog or something like that?
You know, I pay attention to I pay attention to radio stars. I pay attention to internet stars. I mean, you know, Jay's a radio star, internet star. His moves in both places. You know, like, I mean, look, this World's Fair, Action Bronson. I don't want to, you know, forget anybody. I'm just saying,
Right.
Joey Badass, ASAP Rocky, you know, ASAP Ferg. There's a lot of things that broke out of that internet and then play on the radio. So I like them as well. You know, but I kind of I use a whole collective thing in my mind. Like, yeah, like people like a Joey Badass or an Action Bronson, or, you know, that are stars on the internet. I do look for music from them because obviously they're in demand.
Now, the 90s, because we always talk about it here, about that being very influential on rap music. What year in the 90s did you see it take that turn where you say, okay, rap is going to make this move now?
Look, you had a few, you know, to say that turn right there in the 90s, it actually took a couple turns. I mean, you had the late 70s and the early 80s where, unfortunately, when rap came around during disco, people were putting it in in a little capsule, wondering if it was going to be like disco. And one day, like in that field where they said disco was dead,
Right.
and it was over. So people were always with the rap fad looking for it to be over, even though Grandmaster Flash was selling Melly Mel and those things. They were looking for them to be over. And it did it, but it was at a standstill because rappers back then, you were dressing and talking like R&B artists, and you had to. But then Run DMC came along, and why the impact was so strong is because you saw someone dressed like you, who talked like you, wore the sneakers like you, wore the coat like you. And that ushered in another era of that 84, I want to say, to 89-ish. And then, I mean, that brought Slick Rick and Kane and all type of things afterwards, and Biz and things like that. But then, and Rakim, but then we got to 89, 90, 89 going into 90, and no disrespect, I don't want any artist to take disrespect, but, you know, Rakim wasn't making as good albums anymore. Kane wasn't making as good albums anymore. Slick Rick was in jail. So our core had kind of gone away, and, you know, there was Hammer and a couple other funny things going on. It was picking up the slack, but, you know, and Tone Loc, you know, all those guys were starting to live. Young MC.
Wow, I forgot about Young MC.
Nah, you know, it was those guys were starting to get some burn. So then, I think I don't want to say exactly, you know, the noughties of the, you know, Black Moon, you know, Tribe Called Quest, De La, those things started to come up out of the boroughs, and then it started to sell.
What influenced you, you know, that made you say, you know what, this is what I want to do? You know, as far as, you know, coming to DJ. Because, you know, back, you know, it's an expensive art.
You know, I was a Zulu Nation fan, a Cold Crush Brothers fan, so, you know, Bambaataa, Jazzy J, Red Alert, Africa Islam, because those were the 4 core DJs from where I was from that was important. Cold Crush Brothers, Charlie Chase, Tony Tone, that, because they were, all that I just shouted was very cool, very, you know, a lot of style and popular. Maybe not pop, but popular in the hood, you know, where I was from. So those are the things I want to be like those guys, you know?
Now, here at Emmis, you're in charge of the digital Loud.
Oh yeah, Loud Digital, which is
okay.
Loud. You think I know the name probably, right? Loud Digital, where I am
Okay.
creative director, and you know, that includes building sites and content and traffic and stuff like that. So, which is what I do on the regular. So it was very cool to get into that. But as a matter of fact, I finally got an office in the back. So I'm getting ready to decorate it. I'm bringing the turntables up and bring some other stuff up. You know, right? Matter of fact, it's right on the other side.
Okay. I'm not gonna keep you long.
Sure.
I know you're busy. Once again, man, I want to appreciate the fact that you came through. And once again, man, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On the award, man. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Raps first. Global Vito, man, take us out, baby.